Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Almost an entire season behind us, but we go for one final time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rudskogen. This is the TGR Nation Grand V, and it is the finale of season number 2 in the white north of Norway. I'm Alexa Marshall, joined by Adam Reed. Our producer in the background, bringing you all the camera shots, is Samuli Kumo. It's not so white, it's nice and sunny it seems, but Adam, we've got an entire season behind. One more time, here we are. It is going to be an epic season finale that we've got ahead of us.
Hello Alexa, it's great to be back in the commentary box for one more time here in the TGR Nation Grand V. Really looking forward to see how this all plays out, and I'm really intrigued to see how this circuit goes about. It's the premier in terms of motorsport circuits in Norway, and of course really intrigued to see how these Formula Vs take this incredibly difficult circuit.
Yeah, indeed it is. We've got 7 minutes left of free practice, so of course we could talk about the season so far. I think the biggest question that's going to be happening coming into this round is what happened at the end of last week's race at Alton Park. Of course, the winner was not who we expected it to be. Both of the leaders colliding as they went through the final penultimate corner and then into D-Leap to hand the win away. So coming into this round, you can only imagine what it's going to be like. And the drivers are already out there. We've got just over 5 minutes left on the practice clock, and Zach Rattray-White, as per usual, and by no surprise to some people, is setting up there at the top, 1 minute 36.687, and we do wonder what he's going to be able to do this week because he, of course, got caught up in the final moments last week round.
Indeed it is. It's going to be intriguing to see how, these 16 drivers take on this circuit as well. Alton Park was completely different to this, and I'm really intrigued to see how that kind of goes. Alton Park has a lot of elevation similar to this, but I think this one's going to be a bit more technical. There's a couple more straights in terms of, Alton Park, but this one's very, very twisty, windy. You're seeing already Zach Rattray-White in that middle sector. You just see how much steering you have to turn into all these corners and how off camber they are as well, especially down into that downhill section. You see in the track map there on the right hand side a lot of long right handed corners as well. That's going to really punish the left side, the tyre that are going to be lent on throughout the likes of turns 2, turns 3, turns 4, and of course that final corner of 14. So interesting to see how tyre management will have to go here. We're already looking into these last 5 minutes. Yeah, Alexa, what do you think is going to be the key to this last race?
I mean, I think it's going to be the thing with the Formula Vs that has happened all season. You've got to keep the momentum going in the car, or you are going to end up losing out, especially around a circuit like this, as you mentioned, with the long right-handers. A single bit of loss in momentum, and that is going to cost you dearly. So you want to keep the car going and keep it on the straight and in the toe most likely as well, because of course no DRS in these cars, but it is the toe that comes into it, as there is Tostes, the Brazilian driver who is currently sat P number 6, starting to make his way around the circuit as we go just under 5 minutes to be left on the clock in free practice. It's a 22-degree track at the moment with 18-degree ambient, with partly cloudy as well. So that is going to be the key factor to think about. And like last week, Rattray-White is still there with his Oceanic driver of Maroney alongside him. But we've also got Flag, Gopinski and Degassis, the American drivers, who took advantage last week round, and they're going to be looking to go back, I would say. Sully Khan down into P number 9 will definitely be looking for a boost after he was in the podium last week round, but ended up losing it completely on his own. Thankfully was able to get a few positions back towards the end of the race. But into this final round, you definitely got a lot of drivers looking to right the wrongs that they may have said from last week. And one man who definitely did not get anything wrong last week is Sean Gopinski.
Indeed. Of course, I wasn't around last time out at Alton Park, but it seems like, there's some decent form potentially for a lot of these drivers. Of course, for some of the viewers, and especially myself who wasn't here last time out, kind of expand on Sean Gopinski last time around.
was able to pick up a podium. I am trying to pick the memory out of my brain. It is either Sean Gapinski or the Gassis who would actually end up coming in for the win last week due to a collision between Rattray White and, if I remember correctly, Maroney coming just before Deer Leap. There would be a collision between the two drivers. Rattray will get spun around and the person who made the contact would end up getting a black flag. So that is, so like I said, lots of wrongs to be righted, and of course with the new iRacing update that was Alton Park, Sully Khan would end up going down the order early in the mid stages of the race and lose the rear end coming out of Knickerbrook. So like I said, lots of redemption to come the way this week. But of course, Adam, we've also got to remember, we're looking at these times right now in free practice, but there can always be an outlier going into qualifying.
There definitely can be. So I think a lot of drivers really have to be aware of, you know, all their surroundings. You know, a toe can definitely make or break the lap, especially off the exit of 14 through 1 and 2, then on towards turn 3. I think that's where you can make the majority of your time up with a little bit of toe. So do you want to be sitting behind another car, or do you want to be, you know, sitting in free air where, you know, you don't have the pressure of, you know, come onto oncoming traffic as well? So I think these drivers are really going to have to play their cards well if they want to go for pole position here in Norway.
Yeah, well, you've also got to remember they're not going to get any tow at all because it is going to be a solo qualifying session. Of course, there are other drivers going around the circuit, but it's just you in your own little bubble, and that is how you set your best lap time. So it comes down to what these drivers realistically can do around this circuit. And I do wonder how much practice has gone into this, because of course earlier on in the season we had quite a few different races. We had USA Speedway as a dirt oval. You of course had the ovals. You had the other ovals as well. There hasn't been as much tarmac on a proper racing circuit like this. Realistically, before it was Alton Park, and then a few rounds before that it was Sebring. So there hasn't really been much tarmac practice, I would say, with the racing each other around this track. So it's coming. So it's really going to be an interesting one tonight, and we've just gone through it, and now we're going through this one now of turn number 2. I think that's going to be incredibly interesting and can make or break a lap, because it's 90 degrees straight into a long right-hander. So how are you going to fare your car, and how are you going to get the line perfect? Because it's going to be incredibly tricky. Qualifying, I would say you can probably get it perfect because you're on your own, but lap 1, that's where it's going to get even more feisty.
Indeed, especially talking about that first lap, you know, you've got plenty of opportunities. I think the main thing is just going to be staying out of trouble. I will expect a couple of incidents, maybe in towards 3, maybe in towards that fast section. But the checker flag now falls here on practice. We will head into qualifying, which is, especially as you say, Alexa, can make or break your lap. This is going to be a seriously intense qualifying session, and quite a busy lap as well. You know, you're going to be probably making changes for the majority of the lap, maybe about 60 or 70%. So as they come for the first time, you get 10 minutes, but of course you get I think a couple of laps, 2 laps to be in fact, try and put something in. So some drivers will be looking to prep themselves a bit, some will be straight out, and one of those guys that are straight out, Rob White.
Yeah, well, this is going to be a thing as well. You're going to be storing the wheel quite a lot. You don't get it as much during the first lap. You can hold it pretty steady. However, the complex between turn 4 and turn 9, it's very similar to Suzuka in the matter of you going through quite a lot of S's. Some may compare it to Suzuka like I do. Some may compare it to Maggots and Beckett's, or the S's that you get at the good old circuit of the Americas. But it does seem like, when you look at it in a track map perspective, it's a bit of combination of all. You got Shanghai similar, you got Suzuka similar. You've got a nice mix around here, but that definitely brings the challenge when it comes down to your qualifying lap times and your racing action. So that is where we're going to watch it, as we are watching this man, Rob Wright, making his way through. It will be a slight correction. You get 3 qualifying runs that are allowed in your timing. Usually you see about 80% of the grid have that done within the first 7 minutes. You'll have a few outliers towards the end of it. So right now, Rob Wright making his way through, and we are now going to be going into this long right-hander to bring us onto the main straight. Adam, I'll let you take us away.
Of course, as we make our way on towards the first couple of corners, you're just trying to put yourself up towards top speed. Let gravity do a little bit of the work as you head up the hill in towards turn number 1. You're trying to brake as late as you can. Remember, these V's are not that quick, cutting a little bit of that inside line through too, and then opening up the corner as you make your way. Trying to stay close here to the right hand side. Just make your lap as short as you physically can, and then heading down the hill again. Gravity will do a little bit of the work. You head over the hills. The V's aren't quite going to like that hill in towards turn number 3. I think we're going to take it a little bit, I think a little bit of a lift there as you try and get the car rotated. Use a little bit of the body roll through there, back to the right hand side, in towards 5, and then in towards 6. You better use a little bit of cutting in towards here. Try and open up the corner before turning it back in towards 8. That's going to be such a critical corner. Now you've got to plant all the power here into 3rd gear and carry all the speed that you have. Once again, the elevation really showing off here. Down the hill you go, and in towards turn at number 10. Just get the car rotated down to 74 kilometers an hour, and then launching yourself off, going up a hill again, which the V doesn't like, into a blind left-hander of 12. Use all the curbing there on the inside and the outside before flicking it in towards 13. Pick your braking point before heading around to turn number 14. Scrub off some of the speed and then try and plant as early as possible before then heading on towards the main straight here at here in Norway and on towards the line. I think you more want to be towards the left hand side, but of course you do have that second lap, and Rod Wright will do a 1:39.974.
Not shortly after is Alan Degassis going straight up there, 1:37.8, so not that far ahead. Rich English now going to be going P number 2 as they head their way around the circuit. There is the American driver going round, but that's going to be the other American of Ken Poulin who is going to go and dethrone him. Rodrigo Tostes going P number 5, but Nathan Maroney, not a man to be counted out, going up there almost into the 136s. Zach Rattray White, P number 2, 1:37.821.
Exactly, Zach Rattray White knowing to be superbly fast in his Formula V, but Nathan Maroney, the Australian, putting in a fantastic time. Now, I think the fastest time will definitely have to be a 1:36 if you want to put yourself within the mix here. I think a lot of those drivers using the first lap just to get themselves up to a little bit of temperature in the tyres, warm themselves up ready for this lap that could be proving oh so crucial in these final last few laps. He clips his way through 5 and in towards 6 and in towards 7. That turn 8 is going to be dastardly to try and get rotated, but the two Oceanian drivers are doing superbly well up at the front of the field.
Nathan from the land down under, Zach from the land of New Zealand. It's the American drivers. We're getting a bit of deja vu from last week with the Oceanic 1-2, American 2-3-4. So that is definitely going to be interesting. It seems like they've become rivals here, but Alan Degassis is going to split the two. He goes P number 2, points Zach Rattray White down into P number 3. So that is a very good improvement for him. Nathan Maroney still making his way around the circuit, trying to hold the speed, it seems, as he heads round. Now round the final corner, Michael Thiessen goes up the order into P number 11, getting a new lap time on the board. Here comes Nathan Maroney as he goes to the line, but Rodrigo Tostes goes P number 2, 1:37.756, but Nathan 1:36.965. Only driver in the 136s at the moment. As you can see on the bottom of your screen, those are the names, those are the bars. Yellow means no improvement, green means personal improvement, and purple will mean session fastest. So right now, seems like nobody is as close to Nathan as they would hope, because it's nearly an entire second between P1 and P number 2. However, I will say this, P number 3 down to P number 7, pretty tightly packed.
Indeed they are. I think there's a really good time going on there. Maroney putting in that 36.9 as well, which I kind of predicted. has to be within there to be the best time. But yeah, I think Zach White is a little bit struggling for the moment. Because of course he is down there in 5th, but remember he does have more laps to go about. We've got the top 16 there separated by just over 3.5 seconds. Now, I'm sure that will get slimmed down, but I think the momentum is the main kind of point between being fast and being all the way down there in that kind of bottom half.
Yeah, and there is Rudskogen Toasters. He's currently going around the circuit as well. I'm also looking at the time for Sully Khan right now. He's on big personal improvement at the moment. And Rich English goes P number 2. So we've got quite a lot of drivers who are hopping up in this week. And that is going to be Sully Khan there. He goes P number 8. Rudskogen Toasters goes to the line. It stays P number 4 at the current moment. Quite a lot of drivers still sitting in the yellow bars. So not many improvements, going a little bit slower. It seems like from what we've seen from Nathan, this is one of these circuits where you can't do a lap, go back to the pits, and then come back out. However, Zach White, P number 6, is currently fastest in sector number 1. He's green on the board. There is Matthias Marin, pit down in the order, but here comes Zach. What can he do around here? Coming to the line, and he will go back to provisional pole. 1:36.801. Those who may have doubted him, well, he's back right there for it.
Indeed, fantastic from Zach White. Never count him out. And so far, that provisional pole position is going to taste oh so sweet. Hanley going out to P7 there as well. What about Alan Degassis there in P6? I wonder if he's going to make improvements. We currently watch here. We'll pass that the number 53 of Sully Khan as he makes his way through that kind of last sector just before the last final couple of corners, and then he'll accelerate all the way up to the start finish line, and we'll see what the Brits can do.
Yeah, coming around it now, turn number 14, got to go to the line here. There is a DRS board apparently. You don't have a DRS on these cars. Sully Khan to the line and will go right up the order. P number 3, very good lap time by the Brit into the dying embers of this qualifying session. 1 minute left on the clock. Brought to you by Sambo iRacing and Lutsu Driver Performance in the TGR, supporting the TGR Nation Grand V Series. Of course, giving plenty of help and insight to some of the drivers that you see on the grid. There is Neil Hanley currently making his way around, and he is just over a second behind, but he is very, very close. Only 1,000th from Alan Degassis.
Indeed, and only a couple of seconds left to go. Some drivers still having a few laps left on the timing board here. We'll see what Todd Going can do. He doesn't improve, it seems like, unless I've seen an improvement. We'll have to see what Hanley does. Doesn't look like he's improved either. So drivers just now finishing up here on their laps, and it doesn't seem like improvements are going on here in the last couple of seconds. We now tick down to the 10 minutes timer here. And that will be the end. Ratray White will be ahead of Nathan Maroney for the final time in Season 2 of the TGR Grand V.
Indeed it is. That is how you do a qualifying session and how you get it on the board. And it is going to be an Oceanic 1-2, as we, of course, wait for it to come up when we can get into it for you. It is Zach White who will once again line up on pole position. Nathan Maroney, P number 2 for an Oceanic front row. Sully Khan, big retribution from last week, P number 3 for him with Rich English, P number 4. Todd Going sits P number 5 with Rudskogen Toasters, P number 6. Alan Degassis, P number 7, and Neil Hanley, P number 8. Ken Poulin sits P number 9 with Sean Gopinski rounding out the top 10. Andrew James, P number 11, and Rob Wright will round out the first page in P number 12. The second page then goes like this. It is Mark Schweening, followed by Matthias Marin, Martin Visser, Michael Thiessen, Zen Carr, Joshua D. Cruz, Christian Flagg, and then Adam Morgan to round out the top 20. And that is going to be the grid. 20 drivers on it tonight, as we are still waiting for a few of them to hop on the grid, Adam.
We are indeed. Interesting to see that 20 car grid. That means plenty of action is about to commence. I really feel that turn 1 is going to be a little bit of a scrap fest, but I think we will see a collision maybe into that middle sector where it starts to really tighten up. Will 8 be a potential surprising move here? But we'll head to the 5 red lights.
All eyes now go to the gantry lights. Green flag drops, we are racing. That's going to be a very, very good start from Zach Rattray White. Same with Todd Going. He's got an amazing start off the line. Degas is there as well. Sully Kong going to now lose out to English. Toaster's getting past Degas. Down in turn number 1, it seems like they're trying to go single file. 3 wide in the background there on the main straight. Morgan apparently already out. Cruz getting past Car further back. That's going to be off and into it. Nathan Maroney, though, on the inside line, taking it a lot tighter as they head under the straight. He's going to get an amazing start here. Going to now Zach Rattray White, though. Once again, the Oceanic drivers battle all the time in this series. They're going to go at it again in this opening lap. Down into turn number 3 now, but it's not going to be there for him. Matthias Marin versus James in the background as well. Martin Visser getting past Michael Thiessen. Mark Schweening getting past James and Thiessen getting past Visser. So they're fighting in the background, but seemingly, as we head towards the first half of this lap, it's 4 a square further back between these 4 drivers, but it's now ended up going a little bit more single. But that is Michael Thiessen who's having to defend from Christian Flagg, Adam.
Start there, and I think a lot of the drivers are kind of thinking about not making too many risky moves in these early stages. You know, you've still got a whole 30 minutes left of this race, but Christian Flagg is trying to make up positions. He looks to try and go up towards 15. Somebody's pulling over to the side there. That's going to be Andrew James, it seems like, having a bit of a crawl up the hill he goes. I think a bit of a loss of momentum, maybe a bit of contact as well, but we now look towards the rear of the grid. But a lot of chaos to opening first couple of laps. But we look back here, and Nathan Maroney is going to be feeling the pressure with Zach Rattray White right in the draft. Here he'll pull out to the left hand side, and can he make the move on towards number 1? He will have that inside line. Is it going to be later on the break potentially for Nathan Maroney? Nope, just gives up the position and says, well, I'm going to have another go later on in this race. No point in fighting that too hard in these early stages. Zach Rattray White up to P1.
And free a triangle there for him. Quite a lot of drivers. That is Martin Visser, who has fallen down the order, but now going wheel to wheel, side by side. Ken Poulin is going to be right there with him. Going to be going down this back straight, or main straight, whatever you want to call it. It's so long, it's hard to tell, but now wheel to wheel, side by side, right in the mix of it. He's locked in there with, of course, Neil Hanley and Sean Gopinski. It's a big old fight back here, like we've seen across the previous weeks. The midfield and the lower field, never to be counted out. 3 wide there, almost having to take evasive action, which they do. Now going to go for a square, 6 a rectangle. But other than that, Rob Rye holding on to his positions. He's 2 positions up since the start of this race. Christian Flagg up by 6. But he's now going to lose out to Matthias Marin. But still, 6 positions gained in just 2 laps. That is not one to scoff at. He's now going to be trying to go around the outside. But he's locked in this battle with all these other drivers. Christian Flagg in front, Michael Thiessen behind him.
Indeed they are. Look at this squabble there between 3-4 different cars there. You're also looking at the front 3 ahead as well. That whole battle for 12th is looking absolutely delicious. Schweenig looking on the inside there of Marin. Marin will just hold him off, and they exit on toward the main straight. Now this is where we get the absolute toe McGee here, all the way down this main straight. Look at the battle up at the front there, and that Nathan Maroney heading down the field as he spun. He's off in the barriers. Oh my word, Maroney, and he will have to try and get something going there. And Todd Going also in the Armco barriers as well. What on earth happened there? On towards the first corner between Nathan Maroney and Zach Rattray. They're squeezing each other. And just, I think just lost. Oh, wow. So Maroney just goes too deep and then comes back onto the track. But because the rear is over-rotating, Todd Going just had absolutely nowhere to go. Let's ride on board here with the TGR Nation car. You can just see there the rear going away. Oh, dear. Noticed it too late. And Todd Going was an innocent victim. The car just spinning out there, going barrel rolling as well. And that's not what we like to see. And I think Going's going to pull off here on this one.
Yeah, meatball flag on effect for that car. So that's unfortunate for him there. I will just say this: thank God this is sim racing and not real life, because I can only imagine how scary that would have been if that was real life. So thank God this is sim racing. And this is iRacing, and this is the TGR Nation Grand the series. And going into this, we're nearly at 5 minutes deep, and after the first 5 minutes, it is Zach Rattray White who leads with English now P2 and Alan Degassis P number 3 after what we saw take place in the replay just a moments ago. But now, Alan Degassis is continuously on the back of Rich English, continuously soaring out that wheel. Sully Card is also there, who goes very deep and off the circuit in the opening parts. Yellow flag for him, I believe that will be a slowdown. And now coming onto this straight, it does seem like he had a slowdown there. And oh, that is going to be Matt Schweening, who is in the barrier, and that is also Matthias Marin, who is there for him. Meatball for both of them. This is the replay. What happened here? So locked in the fight, coming down the main straight, down the inside, there's Mark Schweening, and it looks like he just continuously, oh, that is Matthias Marin, he gets clipped, and no, that's Mark Schweening, who gets absolutely launched into the air. We see it happen with these Formula Vs, touches suspension and you're going into the stratosphere, but he was actually behind and then got caught up in it. So very much deja vu from what we saw happen with the other drivers moments ago on the previous lap. But Alan Degassis now P number 2, English P number 3. So that is a move that has been made in the moment. Sully Khan also lost out to Rodrigo Tostes while we were looking at the replay. English now right on the back of him, apparently from Antarctica, so apparently the Penguins have some representation. And now Hanley is going to lose out to Poulin and Gapinski, as I believe that might have been an off track, because that is yellow for the flags on him. But that 4-car fight just in front of him, the midfield never seems to disappoint, especially coming down the main straight now, where the slipstream is going to be right at the top, as here comes Rob Wright. He's having to defend right now from flag, as Sully Khan and Maroney also battling up front, wheel to wheel, side by side into turn number 1, now going into turn number 2.
Oh, indeed, they're looking pretty close on this one. 4 cars involved in this battle. We lock on to Ken Poulin here. You can just see there's an absolute scrabble looking for position and points, especially in this last race of the 2 seasons. Wow, who was that? Was that potentially Kapinski trying to go for a move? It was, as he now continues to just rotate that car and look for a position here. Did he find the gap? No, he'll have to slot in behind Poulin. Poulin's also looking for space as well. They head their way in towards turn number 8. Is he going to look up the inside, try surprise right there on that one? It doesn't seem like he can do for this time, but big credit there to I think it's Charlie Flagg, because he's gone up 12 places from his starting position, doing an absolutely superb job. I think a real sterling effort this time here for the last round of the championship. Keeping on tabs here with Kapinski. This is a battle that's really heating up, and I could probably hear the kettle boiling on this one.
The kettle boiling, it starts to whistle, but these cars give it the roar, and now going into the left hand of him once again, turn number 14, as a little bit wider there for Rob Wright, with Ken Poulin just behind, maybe trying to hop in that slipstream, but the extra speed is going to give an advantage down the straight by taking it wider to carry more momentum. But now going to be firing right up against them down into turn number 1 again. But it seems like this is where the main fight is. You've got this battle between Christian Flagg, Rob Wright, Ken Poulin, Sean Gapinski and Neil Hanley slowly making his way towards this. Then you've also got the battle for P number 2 being Rich English, Alan Degassi and Rodrigo Tostes, as well as Sully Khan chasing down Nathan Maroney. But there is the man who's 12 places up, and there is the man who is 3 places down. Nathan currently under threat from the Brit of Sully Khan, as Ken Poulin is going to lose out to Rob Wright, but now going to fight right back against it down the inside. Going wheel to wheel, it's going to be off and almost in the barrier, holding the brakes to make the save, but that's going to cost Rob Wright plenty of positions. The Canadian falling down the order after contact on the rear right of his car.
Oh, how unfortunate was that. Superb to have that little tussle, but it just ended with Rob Wright going up on 2 wheels, and to be frank, almost going over. He was lucky to just hold that on the ground, and will just continue, albeit down into 12th place, with a lot of drivers unfortunately having not ideal races. We know that Of course, we had Nathan Maroney having his issues. We had, of course, Cruz now out, Morgan now out as well. I think it was Todd Going that was involved in that incident earlier. Look at Visser, Marion Schween. They're also right down the pack as well, over a minute behind the leader. So, of course, a lot of drivers just getting involved in incidents in this last race of the season. I think they just wanted to try and go all out, have a little bit of fun. But let's have a look at Sean Kopinski. He's on the inside of Ken Pooling. Up the inside he goes. Will Pooling fight around the outside? Yes, he does. A strong manoeuvre. Oh, a bit of a biff to the rear there of Pooling. And very well done there to defend that position.
Very well done indeed, and that is a good way to get it done. Around the outside and then the inside for turn number 2, seemingly to be in the opportunity where most drivers have taken around this circuit. We're 10 minutes deep, and the biggest gainer is Christian Flagg. Ken Pooling chasing down behind him with Neil Hanley on the back of him. The driver who has lost the most positions in this race is Todd Going, got 10 positions down since his race start. Zach Rattray-White leading, not changing at all. So he has made plenty up, and at the 1/3 mark, he is showing why he has been so good this season. Excluding the ovals, he has said himself in a few interviews with us. So other than that, he's done pretty good. A few other drivers, of course, Andrew James and Rob Wright, are not moving positions either from where they started. Now Wright, of course, losing out due to a contact. But other than that, I will point this out, coming onto the back of P number 18 of Mark Schweening is Zach Rattray-White. So you never usually see people getting lapped in race in around a circuit like this with such a short race time, but it seems like we're going to get some tonight.
We are indeed. I'll be intrigued to see how this all comes out. Wow, that's a big old accident. That's Todd Going. And he is straight away out of this one. I'm pretty sure we'll get a replay because, of course, the speed that's been detected by Todd Going being at 0 kilometers an hour. Let's have a look and see what happens. So in towards turn number 3 here, heading down the hill. Does he completely miss a gear? Oh, he just turns off. He just turns off into the barrier and he just says goodnight.
Wow. Wow, okay, that car snapped. Jeez. Well, here we go. Here comes Sully Khan down the inside of Nathan Maroney. And Sully Khan's round at the exact same corner. We saw Todd Going go off. He keeps it out the barrier. He keeps it on the tarmac. But once again, turn number 3 bites like it has done so many times this evening. So 1, 2 and 3 are being real outliers tonight for where the incidents are taking place. But now, as we're getting closer and closer to that halfway mark, he's going to have to go again. But I have got to feel sorry for Sully. First it was Alton Park, a mistake on his own last week, and now that's happened this time around about the same time as well.
Yeah, super unfortunate to get involved in accidents, but you know, I think it's just trying to prove this race is all about survival, as well as many other Formula V races. That's Andrew James there getting passed by Rob White, so I think he's had a bit of an incident on his own accord. But into the 13th minute of this race, lap 9 as well. Yeah, we are flying through this race for sure. Time flies when you're having fun, and sim racing is indeed fun, no matter if you're in the car or if you're watching it on a screen. So,
no matter if you talk about it for hours like me and you do, Adam. But right now, we go back to this. Nathan Maroney, let's talk about this man actually, because he was doing so good earlier on in this race. So let's talk about him for a bit, because he's P number 5 at the moment, 8.7 off the top. So I wouldn't count him out, but he's got Flagg behind him at the moment.
He does, and we'll have to see how that kind of goes about, because of course we know that Flagg has been very quick in this race, very, very consistent. You know, the lap times have been really good on that pink Formula V car, and I think he's just going to try and follow Maroney. You know, if there's an opportunity to follow one of the fastest cars on the racetrack, I think he's got to absolutely go for it. Christian Flagg has been doing superbly well. I think he's also wanting an opportunity with Nathan Maroney to maybe have a little bit of a tussle. But I think if you're wise to the cause, I think you just sit behind him, try and get a bit of knowledge, and just follow him around. Because if he's able to get out to the back of that battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th, follow him. Why not? This could turn into 5th and 6th, into 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, as it may click like a pen coming down the main straight, trying to hop in that toe as quickly as possible. But you also see just ahead, there is English, who's having to fight and defend because he has got Degassis right alongside him, going down into turn number 1. Now going to have the inside for turn number 2 is English, but he's going to be right on top of the curve. In the background is Toastes, going to go free a triangle for a moment. Down coming through, up and under there, opted by Degassis, trying to hop in it, trying to choose it, trying to get through as quickly as possible. But now, continuing down the main straight and down this back straight or middle straight. How many straights are there? But it's an opportune moment for him. English is going to lose out to Degassis at the moment in time, coming down in through these corners, and it is now going through the left-hander and in through the chicane or sweep. These S's are absolutely wonderful to see, and now through the left-hander, going to be right up against him. English gets the move done one more time. Degassis is right alongside him, right along those rear wheels, going to now go into the front as well. These drivers are squabbling like there's no tomorrow. Inside line will be opted for Degassis, going through the right-hander, and that is lovely jubbly sound as a pound, but he chooses under again. The black and the gold, and the black and the teal fighting like no tomorrow through the left-hander now into the braking zone, but it seems like Degassis will just about get this. A whole lap of fighting. You'll love to see it.
You do indeed. Wow, this has been absolutely mighty. You just see they're going to have another one. This is going to be a slipstream battle here. And as you see, Nathan Moroni is carrying Christian Flag with him. And Moroni will go up the inside of Tostes. And the Brazilian will have to back out of that one. But when did the pink car of Flag go through? Well, he's already gone through. And as Rich English and Degassis will just continue on their way through. Let's have a look at this little replay here of Christian Flag. So he heads down this main straight. You'll see Nathan Moroni pip him up the inside in toward the left-hander. And it's just a wide moment there for Tostes, and Flag will just say, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed. And now he's trying to make his way even closer. So English as well now back into that P number 2. It seems like we're going to have a four-way fight towards the end of this with a 4-car, maybe even 5 if Tostes gets back into this. We're only just over the halfway mark here in the season finale at Rudskogen in the TGR Nation Grand V Series. We are live on Apex Racing TV, and I can only imagine how some people have looked at this season and how many fights they've seen. So now coming through the right-hander, then into the left-hander as well, trying to hold on to this, but now a little bit of steam popping up from the tyres as some of the drivers lock up with the absolute perfection that they drive. Nothing wrong with a little bit of steam, as it shows how hard you are pushing the car on lap number 11, coming through the long right-hander, or technically lap number 10 as they head towards lap number 11, the leader of lap number 11. But here comes Nathan Moroni, still going to be there right on the right-hand side. Maybe we see Flag going for it again like what he did last time round. But no, it's going to stay where it is for the time being as they head through 1 and into 2.
Indeed. We'll have to see how this all kind of pans out once again, because you're looking at 4 different cars who are battling over the second place spot on the podium. Meanwhile, Zach Rattree White is over 9 seconds down the field here. He's already off into the sunset here in Norway. And there goes Christian Flag. He's going to move his way up the inside there of Moroni as well. He's going to slice his way through and up into a podium position. Side by side in towards 5. This can get a pretty nip and tuck as well. And they follow their way through. That's going to be risky side by side. And off in towards turn number 8, holding that inside line is Degassis. Degassis will try and get any form of exit he possibly can. Moroni is also off there on the right hand side of his vision. And up the inside, clean as you like from Christian Flag. He'll move up to 3rd place. So maybe it'll be that pink car that will be taking P2 in this race. He's just got to hunt down Rick English in this one, who's now nearly 10 seconds behind our race leader.
Well, you never count out Flag. He's been on an absolute flyer this entire race. He is 16 positions up, absolutely swamping the 3 positions up, which is the next closest. So you can only imagine what is going on in the helmet and behind that wheel, what is being said, possibly through the radio. Just don't do a Formula E, and apparently the GPS is in the water at Monaco. But this is Norway, and this is going to be even closer as Rich English may be opening up that gap. But this is so close between them. 0.2 between Flag and English, and 0.3 to Alan de Gassis. So many drivers, so many choices to make, and we are now into the final third of this race. It is going to be now or never. This is where a lot of drivers will opt to go full out into the gravel a little bit there. It's going to be Rich English, and now it may be Christian Flag who may try and take an opportunity. Rich English goes round completely on his own over the curb, falls to the back of the fight. Maybe pressure getting the better. Here is the replay from what we saw. Going through the left-hander, was there contact? I don't think there was. It was just completely on his own, onto the curb, spins it around. Amazing awareness by the other drivers. Maybe a slight bit of contact there on Nathan Maroney to help the car be fixed. But that got incredibly close for Rich English. That could have ended very quickly into a massive 5-car pile-up.
It very much could, and he was very lucky to get away with it. Unfortunately, he does have that black and meatball flag, so yeah, very disappointing there for Rich English. He will live to fight another day, luckily, but also a slowdown penalty to give away as well. As this front 3 just continue to fight and fight and fight, and all into the parry. There goes Rick English. That's him basically saying, "I'm done. I'm out of this race. I do not care. Just let me retire in peace and do my own thing." So, let's have a look at this one then. Flag, Maroney, de Gassis, who will be taking that last podium place. And did Christian Flag get a... that was internet connection, I believe. Before
I think iRacing Internet is doing iRacing things. Anyways, Nathan Maroney right now, still chasing down. And Alan de Gassis is also there.
Indeed they are. Let's keep an eye on this one, because Nathan Maroney has now got that opportunity to go and take second. Is he going to do it in towards turn number 10? Not quite, because that would have been completely unexpected. But do you really want the element of surprise when it comes to your next overtake? I don't think so. I think you want it to be nice and clean. We reach over 2/3 of this race. Nathan Maroney, which has continued to hassle and hound Christian Flag, and I wonder how the defensive wall of Christian Flag will be in that very tiny Formula V car. I don't expect him to hold up too much of a defense, knowing the kind of pace difference and the slipstream that Nathan Maroney has, but I think he'll give it a good go. He's going to require to handle a lot of speed, but no, just give the position easy as that. Doesn't decide to fight it. He's happy sitting in 3rd.
Yeah, easy as pie, just going to sit there for a moment. I think that's one of the things you want to do as well, though, at the end of the day. There is Sean Gopinski, 4 positions up. He's currently locked in a fight with Ken Poulin, so that's a fight that we are going to be watching as well. It's the only other fight, really, which is happening around the circuit, apart from that battle for the top 2, apart from that battle for P number 2. So we'll give this a bit of screen time as they head through turn number 3. But this is the interesting fact I want to point out here. Is Flag choosing to stay behind on purpose? Because we've seen around here, it's very easy to get overtaken at the end of the main straight. The start of the main straight, not so much. So a last lap overtake could possibly set him up so he doesn't have to do as much defending as he would possibly like. Is that what... I feel like that's something that Flag may be opting to choose for here, as we are 6 minutes remaining in this race.
We are indeed, and now we'll see Sean Kapinski, who we're looking at now. He is potentially going to be having a defensive job to do with Ken Poulin, who is just in behind as well. Maroney gets a slowdown penalty, so keep that in mind for now until that yellow flag does go away. But again, iRacing having their little moments there. Kapinski will now be on the defensive. They head their way down that main straight. And we'll have to see if the defensive job can be done. Do you want to be aggressive in your defense, or do you just want to try and be smart about it? Well, it doesn't look like Ken Pooling's going to be quite able to get up to the rear of Kapinski on this one. These two go to a bit of a battle up. 17 places now for Christian Flag. This has been superb to watch.
Indeed it has. They are constantly going at this like there's no tomorrow, and this is going to be a replay. Here comes Christian Flag, 17 positions up now. Not opting for later like I thought he would, but this is where it happens. Going through turn number 2, goes very, very wide. In fact, there is the slowdown. So that is Nathan who loses out that position, and through goes Flag. So I don't think there was much that could be done there, apart from Maroney now is going to have to fight that back. I will say, Nathan Maroney does have the fastest lap of the session, and that was his last lap with a 1:37.037, but of course he got that slowdown, so some may not see that as legitimate. I will say this as well though, of course you've got 16 drivers currently out there on the circuit. 4 drivers are out, that being English, Going and Cruz, and of course Morgan did not take the start. With 4 minutes left, it's Zach Rattray-White who leads, Christian Flag P2, Nathan Maroney P number 3. We've got Alan Degassis, who you cannot count out in this fight either. He's right on the back of him, and Adam, like me and you know all too well, as he does drop back a little bit. Nathan Maroney with a black flag, and that is going to spell disaster. So what on earth has happened again? It happened last week, it happened this week, so it seems like the black flag curse has struck again.
It has, and I wonder if that's going to be how disappointing that's going to be. I think you can take a time penalty at the end of the race, but I think that may be the way that Nathan Maroney will have to go about this, because there's not a lot of time left on the clock. Just over 3 minutes and 15 seconds. You can see he's using all of the racetrack, and you would have known that he's getting close. But when you're pushing hard for second, as he is, you've not got a lot of time left, and he decides to risk it, and this is his reward, a black flag for him. I think he's just going to take the time penalty at the end of the race. It's the last race of the season. I think the championship is already done and dusted at this rate, and I think he will just have a little bit of fun for the last couple of moments left of season 2. Down in towards turn number 10, he'll keep the pressure here on Christian Flag, see if he decides to unbuckle with the pressure he's got behind him. This could really man mold him to the driver they could become in season 3, Christian Flag.
Yeah, it's unfortunate at the end of the day, so it's going to now think about it as well through the right-hander. Flag is putting up a mega defense, and no, Maroney is going to pull into the pit lane now with that black flag penalty. So that is going to be that. Hanley and Schweening with slowdowns as well, as you see with the yellow flags. But into the pit lane comes Nathan Maroney. Matt is going to put the Gassis into P number 3. But right now, this is going to be the one to the end. It is going to be Sean Gapinski, Ken Pooling. Who will be the driver inside the top 5? Let's find out. 28 minutes, 15 seconds deep. 30 minutes on the clock overall, so it is not long left. Zach is going to have 1 extra lap here. This will be penultimate. So now you've got an opportunity here. Do you take it or do you lose out? Ken Pooling pushing that car to its absolute limits, wanting that top 5. He's 3 positions up in this race. Sean Gapinski 5. So now this is going to be a fight for the ages between the 2 American drivers.
These two have been battling for the majority of the race. It's only for 5th and 6th, but Kapinski and Pooling will definitely be 2 drivers that are just sitting there with each other, and will just happily sit there for now. And that is going to be Michael Thiessen, not the way he wants to be ending his season. For a moment there, sitting on the side of the racetrack. We'll get the replay because, of course, he went over a certain amount of miles an hour, and I wonder if he was actually tapped here from behind down in towards turn number 8. Oh, he just lost it on his own. Somebody goes bunny hopping over his rear end, and that seemed to be Nathan Maroney. Oh, Maroney. He's had a bit of a horror show today. Part of it not his fault, part of it, of course, like the off-track with black flags, you know, not the way you want to go about things. But with 15 seconds left on the clock, this man, Zach Rattray-White, will be ending the season in the best way possible. Just keep it on the track and he'll win by over 12.5 seconds.
Indeed it will. He is the only driver so far as well doing it on the last lap. 136.919. He is flying towards the end of it. The only driver in the 136s during the race, last season's champion, and if I am doing the maths correctly, it will be back to back, and I believe it is unless I am corrected. But he's going down through these corners. He's only got a few more to go through the hairpin, down towards the final few, through the left-hander now as he comes over that crest, which the camera spots, passing the marshals, who will be waving that white flag, if they actually were waving the white flag, because it will now fly. Ken Poulin is going to get a slowdown on this final lap as well, per the yellow. But now, one more time, round turn number 14, the number 17, Zach Rattray-White, has shown why he was champ last season, and he is going to show his skill again, weaving across the line. Zach Rattray-White finishes here, and he will end the season with another win to his name. Congratulations, with a 12, nearly 13-second gap. But now it is going to be these drivers. Sean Gopinski is currently chasing down Rodrigo Tostes, but Flag takes P2. De Gassis, P number 3. Where are they? There is Alan De Gassis. He is 4 positions up. Big congrats as well to Christian Flag. 17 up, Rodrigo Tostes, as that is going to be straight into the barrier for him. P number 4, Sean Gopinski, P number 5. We'll go through it all when we get the final classification, but that is one heck of a way to end the season. And you can see the man in the background there is Zach Rattray-White. Rob Wright also there. We've got one more man to come to the line, Adam. It's Martin Visser.
Indeed it does, and we've had a superb race. I've been mightily impressed with a lot of these drivers, but there's been some drivers out there that have shown absolute class, some drivers that have shown superb improvement as well, and that's something that I love about sim racing. We get to see some of the progression of some of these drivers, and they get to carry it not just into, you know, next season's edition of a championship, but also into other potential championships as well. Really excited to see where a lot of these other drivers decide to take their craft here all around. I do believe that we will be seeing them potentially in the future for sure. So keep an eye on Apex Racing TV to see if you see any of these guys out in any other cars other than the Formula Vs. But there you go, Martin Visser will cross the line. He'll already be heading for the pit lane immediately, and we'll go through the results table once we get it up for you in this superb race here in Norway. Is Zach Rattray-White for the Eclipse Sim Sports team to take the flag first. Christian Flag will come home in second, up 17 places for him. He has to be my driver of the day. Alan De Gassis will take third for an American 2-3, with Rodrigo Tostes, the Brazilian, splitting the 4 Americans. Sean Kapinski and Ken Poulin will take 5th and 6th, with Sully Khan in P7. It'll be Rob White ahead of Neil Hanley, the Irishman, who will finish ahead of Andrew James, who rounds out the top 10. Nathan Maroney, a torrid way to finish the season, but I'm sure he'll be back for Season 3 of the TGR Nation Grand V. And then we see Zen Carr, who will take P12. Michael Thiessen will be ahead of Martin Visser, ahead of all of our ahead of our finishes, with Matthias Marin and Mark Schwienig, as well as Rick English, who finished I think, Schwienig finished on a lap down, with Rick English, Todd Going, Joshua De Cruz, and Adam Morgan rounding off the 20 cars that took part in the final race of the TGR Nation Grand V for Season 2. Well, Alexa, what a fantastic race we have, but I think we'll have a couple of interviews to go through.
And we'll start it off with your driver of the day, as he is the one we can grab at the moment. It is going to be, of course, Christian Flag. Talk about a race on all aspects. P number 2, plenty of gain positions. Talk us through that, because that is one of the best drives I've seen from anybody all season.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I impressed myself there. This is historically a track that I'm not super great at, but I said, why not? Let's start from the back, have some fun, and it all just came into play. Nathan had a little spin early on, and I was able to use his draft to pull me up to the top guys, and then towards the end, unfortunately, he got that penalty, and he had to take it to the pits, so I just kind of cruised home in second.
Well, fair enough. I mean, we saw absolutely flying out there. Of course, it may have been different, but that is 2 very good weeks on a row as well. So, a very good way to round out the season. If there is going to be a season 3 coming the way, do you think you'll be competing again? Like, what's the plan after this?
Yeah, I mean, this season I've been struggling to race every weekend with an actual IRL full racing schedule, so I've been off most weekends, but with the winter coming and hopefully there will be a season 3, I've heard that there will be, I'll be able to compete for the championship next season, get some points.
And of course, it's been an epic race tonight. Is there anybody just across the entirety of the season who you hoped you had been closer to, or anybody you had some really good battles with? Because of course, you had some very good ones tonight.
No, I mean, Nathan and I had some great battles every single time I raced. He's been a great competitor. Obviously, everybody would want to be closer to Zach, but yeah, Nathan and Zach were the 2 guys who were to be chased all season long, so it was good to race them.
Well, fair enough. It's been a season to remember. We'll let you go real quickly. Is there anybody you'd like to give a thanks to?
Just thanks to Sully and Matthias for putting this on.
Well, fair enough. We shall let you go and pop open the champagne for that podium. We shall see you in the future if we do.
Yep, thank you guys.
That was Christian Flag, P number 2. And now, Adam, you're a lot better at interviews than I am, and I'll give you the man of the hour. Zach Rattray White, you are live on Apex Racing TV.
Hello. Zach has the... Hello. As Alexa mentioned, you are live on Apex Racing TV. A fantastic win for you. Let's talk about qualifying first, because it's an interesting track trying to get around.
Yeah, almost dudded qualifying. First lap was horrible. So, yeah, I was kind of waiting for the inevitable spin on the second lap where I could just start from the back like Christian did, but no, managed to pull that one up.
Of course, looking at the race, you had a fantastic battle with Nathan before the incident. Of course, how was it trying to battle with someone as quick as you? And of course, unfortunately, that it did end in an incident.
Yeah, bit unfortunate. Yeah, 2 weeks in a row where it's kind of ended that way, but not much could be done. I left him enough room, just enough. There was a car's width, but yeah, it's impossible to break the draft in this car unless you have an extreme pace advantage. So I knew that pretty much as soon as the race started and he wasn't a second and a half back, I was stuck with him for the entire race. So yeah, unfortunate that it ended that way, but that is racing.
Of course, then you were pretty much on your own for the majority of this race. But of course, crossing the line, you know, what were the emotions like? It must have been great to end the season on a high.
Yeah, good to end the season on top, I guess. I kind of wish Gianni turned up a bit more. He's obviously my teammate, and he's probably a lot better than me in this car. He's obviously he's the series sponsor, and he's got his own coaching business. So if anyone is out there who's wanting to do better, especially in this car, please reach out to him. He's very good at what he does. Yeah, I don't know, if we can start the season off on the same foot, I will be pretty happy with that.
Then just finally, will we be seeing you back for season 3?
Yeah, look, I'm a bit of a night owl, and it's 2:30 in the morning where I'm at, so it's kind of just something I do if I'm a bit bored, but it has turned into one of those things I do kind of just want to do every week. So thanks to the admins for especially putting this on, and you guys for broadcasting it. You guys do a fantastic job. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you very much for your time, Zach. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see you for season 3.
See you then. Thank you.
That was Zach Rattray White, Adam. Now, let's bring both of these guys in because they are the ones who make this possible. Matthias Marin and Sully Khan. You are live on Apex Racing TV. What a season it has been. And we'll go through this real quickly. Sully, how was the race for you tonight?
It was. It's my fault, to be fair. What happened was I used VR and my controller was low on battery, and I just thought, oh yeah, I'll do it later. I didn't even get into qualifying until there were like less than 6 minutes left, so couldn't do my third lap, and then it just went downhill from there. So just one of them things, really. So hopefully we'll be in a better position next season.
Well, fair enough. And Matthias, what about it from your perspective?
I've been away from the sim a couple of weeks, so it was really hard to try to get back up to speed. And then I crashed into the back of someone just accidentally because I was carrying too much speed into the corner. So it was a race to forget, but a season that was well worth having fun with everybody.
Yeah, of course. And Adam, you haven't been here the entire season, so I'm sure you will have some questions about what it's going to be like going into the next one.
I think it will be intriguing, but kind of where do you see yourself potentially if you do both go in season 3? Do you think you'll be battling each other, hopefully up at the top?
Hopefully,
myself,
yeah.
Yeah, for myself, I think so. I think on my best days, I can keep up with Sully, and so I hope that to have that consistency to be able to pull that off.
Well, there you go. He's laid down the gauntlet there. So yeah, me and Matthias will be battling next season.
Yeah.
Can I just take this moment? Me and Matthias and Todd, we want to thank everyone for a brilliant season. You guys have been brilliant in terms of broadcasting. We are going to hopefully return in for season 3. We are having 1 week off, and then we will be back, and we will be hopefully on ARTV again. So we're going to pick up where we left off, and just to let you know, we will be doing another oval, a dirt oval, like we did last time for week 13 as well. So we have got that to look forward to.
Oh, lovely.
I'm sure the mechanics will. I'm sure the AI mechanics will love getting all the dirt off the suspension. So, yeah. Of course, you said that before we let you guys go. Is there any specific information you can maybe give a hint at going into season 3?
We're going to pick some different tracks that we haven't picked this season, and hopefully, to keep everyone on.
We'll make it interesting. We'll make it interesting.
Well, fair enough. Of course, you've already thanked everybody else. On top of that, is there anybody else you would like to thank before we let you guys go?
We just want to congratulate Zach.
Yeah,
sorry.
I want to congratulate Zach, obviously, for winning the championship, and I want to thank you guys too for doing a great job. It's been brilliant watching the races.
And also all the people that have sponsored it this season, and most of them have sponsored again for next season as well. So thank you very much. We wouldn't be able to have the league without the sponsors. So again, too many to list here, but thank you all. You know who you are.
Thank you very much. We shall let you guys go, and hopefully we'll see you for season number 3. Have a good night.
Good night.
You too. Thank you.
So that was Sully Khan and Matthias Marin, Adam. They were the league admins of TGR Nation. Let's get your final thoughts before we end here.
Yeah, it's been fantastic to be on a part-time basis of TGR Nation Grand Prix. Of course, super interesting cars. I think put on the right circuit, they can definitely have some fantastic action. Maybe on a couple of longer circuits, they may not be quite as action-packed, because you remember they do get up to about 110 miles an hour if you're lucky. So really, really welcome to have everyone involved. It's been incredible. Alex, you've done a fantastic job. I'm sure some of the co-commentators have done absolutely brilliant as well to cover this championship, and of course Apex Racing TV. Well, and everyone to kind of behind this production. It's been fantastic to kind of get a championship together, and all the guys probably have their own Discord probably. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but I'm sure if you go and ask maybe one of these guys in Apex Racing TV, they can send you to the right place to join the TGR Nation Grand B Championship. Overall, expect more thrills, expect more spills, and a brand new kind of calendar and more excitement coming in to season 3. Of course, every single season is another year of learning for every single championship.
I've been here on a full-time basis, only missed one, and it has been an absolutely amazing season. I would like to thank you, Adam. You've hopped in a few times. I'm also going to give a big thank you to Tristan, Samuli, and Jim. But of course, that is the end of the season tonight. You heard from the admins. Season 3 may be coming your way here on Apex Racing TV. This has been Rudskogen in the TGR Nation Grand V. This is the end of season number 2. I've been Alexa Marshall with Adam Reed. Our producer in the background has been Samuli Kumo. Have a good night.